what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome to this YouTube channel on narcissism and narcissistic relationships. So here's a question for you, and it's one that comes up. Isn't gray rocking just stonewalling? Let's take that on because there's a lot of confusion about this. Gray rocking, right? Gray rocking is a tricky technique. It works, doesn't always work. I'm not even always a fan. I actually, though, really like gray rocking in writing. Less so in sort of in person or when we're talking to someone, but I like it in writing. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment. Let's just have a basic review of gray rocking though. Gray rocking is a disengagement and management technique for narcissistic people. It's a way to keep interacting with them without getting drawn into their baiting and their word salad and their gaslighted frenzy. Gray rocking has traditionally been something that's suggested to folks who are in inescapable narcissistic relationships, such as co-parenting of minor children, workplace relationships and for jobs they can't get out of, and some family relationships. Gray rocking is exactly what it sounds like. You make yourself as disengaged, as forgettable, and as dull as a gray rock. It entails brief answers and little emotion. Things like yes, no, sure, okay, things like that. It can work during a short interaction with a narcissistic person that you don't need to see very often. Perhaps with someone in the workplace who's narcissistic or is antagonistic that you don't have to constantly engage with, right? But you do it from time to time. But in the day-to-day, gray rocking may cause more harm than good for you. So let's take on the premise of this video, because this is something, this assertion that it's just stonewalling is something that I have seen happen to clients and other survivors of narcissistic relationships who have had to manage narcissistic people, and they use gray rocking. So they gray rock, right? And they get accused of stonewalling. Let's talk a little bit about stonewalling. Stonewalling is stopping communication. And it includes territories such as the silent treatment. Gray rocking is not the silent treatment, right? You are responding meaningfully. You're just giving very brief and unemotional answers. But when you do a deeper dive into stonewalling, it gets tricky. Because there are some assumptions. Stonewalling, by definition, is supposed to reflect discomfort about discussing feelings or emotions, being dismissive, refusing to answer or respond, not making eye contact, or doing nonverbal things like nodding, or even doing things like storming out of a conversation when the person doesn't like it. Frankly, that sounds like what narcissistic people do. It doesn't sound like gray rocking. But gray rockers are often accused of stonewalling because remember, once you start gray rocking a narcissistic person, you are no longer really giving them supply. You are not getting into the confusing circular arguments where they can dominate and overpower. You are not falling for the baiting where they can put you in a subordinate position and leave you confused. Basically, you are no longer playing their toxic ground game. You aren't not answering or responding, right? If they ask you, are you going to pick up the kids today? I'm going to be working late and then I have a dinner with some friends and I've had to reschedule this dinner like 5 times because you never help enough with picking up the kids from school. Let's assume in this example this is
okay. I love Dr. Ramani. And I love the narcissist talk. But let me just tell you something. Narcissism is out the box now. I'm sorry. It's out the box. There are people who are not clinically diagnosed as NPD, right? Narcissistic personality disorder, that actually gray rock in their relationships. Tell me I'm wrong. Are you trying to tell me you ain't got the one-word answers? Yes. No. Or what about a 2-word answer? I'm good. I'm straight. Yeah. We're normal folk who have narcissistic tendencies. There's a distinct difference between someone who is clinically diagnosed with NPD, right? Narcissistic personality disorder, and someone who has several narcissistic tendencies. And I believe that none of this stuff is hard and fast. None of this stuff is, happening in a bubble. Oh, only narcissists do that. No, people are doing this to each other. People are gray rocking in relationships. And then I found out there's another one, yellow rocking. The yellow rock method is a spin on the gray rock method. It involves, now tell me folks ain't doing this. It involves adding some niceties to gray rock communication when co-parenting with a narcissist. Now, of course they're going to say when co-parenting with a narcissist. What if you've already made up your mind that you want out of this relationship? You're just looking for the best time to tell him. You're looking to gain some strength to tell him or her that you're ready to go. And then you shift into yellow rocking. And then finally into gray rocking. I know something's up. Talk to me. What's going on? Let's have a conversation. No, I'm good. I'm straight. Everything is okay. See, we try to sequester this thought or this tactic to just narcissists. But no, this is happening in everyday relationships, right? How many of you try to nice your way out of a relationship? That's yellow rocking, right? Try gray rocking them to sleep. An intriguing look, right, at revolutionary ways to cause a narcissist to lose interest. To some degree, we're all lightweight narcissists, right? Wherever there is a maladaptive, i.e., an insecure attachment style, there will be a need for a supply of some sort, just like a narcissist. The only thing that separates the rest of us from narcissists is this. People, wounded and all, who have been through a lot, still have empathy. See, when you look at a narcissist, what you're actually looking at, I don't know if you guys are fans of the Star Trek television show with Captain Jean-Luc Picard, right? I think it was called New Generation or something. A New Generation Star Trek. Ran in the 90s. Had a nice little long run. When you're looking at a narcissist, what you're actually looking at, a good way to see a narcissist is to think of the character Data. Data. Next Generation Star Trek. That's what it was called. Next Generation. Right? Look at the character Data. Data functions like a human, but he's an android. He literally has no feelings. That's a narcissist. They have no feeling. They cannot empathize. Okay? That's a narcissist. Now, but the difference, Data was an android. Narcissists are humans. So narcissists, in a vampiric kind of way, feed on supply. It could be drama. It could be admiration. It could be validation. It could be approval. It could be acknowledgement. It could be whatever. It's just gimme, gimme, gimme your attention. And they have a ravenous appetite for it and a bottomless soul. So they're never full on it. Do you understand? So just imagine a vampiric kind of Data, right? Try gray rocking them to sleep. This is why gray rocking has been considered an effective method for, getting the narcissist to lose interest, right? Because if there's no source of attention, of admiration, acknowledgement, approval, aggrandizement, you're not pedestalizing them. Well, what am I doing here? I've got other sources of supply, right? The gray rock method is a strategy for protecting yourself from abusive or toxic friends, partners, co-workers, or family members. We do this to our mamas when our mama be tripping. Okay, I'm not even going to get into it with her. I'm just going to be nice. I ain't going to say nothing. Mamas or daddy, or brother, or sister, or cousins, whomever it may be. But I don't want you guys to hear this term and think, oh, this is something new. This is something we've been doing when we are tired of somebody. Gray rocking them. Okay? This method theorizes that when dealing with an emotionally abusive, toxic, or narcissistic person, withholding your reactions can put a stop, they think, can put a stop to their behaviors. If you show no emotion, they won't get the thrill or enjoyment out of their harmful behavior. It's important to note that the people or the person may get very upset when you withhold your reactions. How many times does that happen with a non-narcissistic person? I can remember with my ex being frustrated with her to the point where I was like, I don't really have a space to say what I need to say. I don't really have a space, to feel like if I expound on anything, it will be respected and or accepted. So what did I do? I limited what I had to say. And it was immediately acknowledged, like, oh, so you're not talking now? Oh, I see your energy is different. I get it. I understand. So we do this. Neither one of us are narcissistic, but we do this, right? So I don't want you guys to get bamboozled to think that this is a new way. We've been doing this for the longest. When we tired of somebody, we shut it down. And that's what this is. But what they're saying is, if in fact you are dealing with a narcissist, please expect a reprisal. What is gray rocking, and how is it different from passive-aggressive tactics like stonewalling? Is gray rocking a necessary evil when it comes to dealing with toxic people? I have spoken to so many brothers who are upset at their baby mama for one reason or another, or so many sisters who are upset at their baby's father for one reason or another. And the basic tactic is to keep it short and simple. That's it, right? True or false? The gray rock method is only necessary for times when you absolutely have to deal with toxic individuals, i.e., within the workplace, family members. Can't break up with them, or can you? I think we're breaking up with family nowadays, right? Family members, professional and or social circles, etc. Why do self-love deficient individuals, SLDs, struggle with letting go of toxic relationships, even though they're being drained of valuable resources such as time, energy, money, mental well-being, emotional well-being? Why is it so difficult for codependents to let folk go? When we come forward, the voice of reason, opening up the phone lines. Have you had to gray rock somebody? Have you yellow rocked? You know, gray rocking with a little nicety put on top. I want to know your thoughts. Have you dealt with toxic family members? Do you have toxic family members? Do you have toxic people you work with in the job site? I want to know toxic exes. I want to know how you deal with them. And have you ever heard of gray rocking?
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tavis is like George and Wheezy. He's moving on up. Last year, Tavis was number 45 on the Talkers magazine list of the 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. Wait for it. Wait for it. The 2024 list was recently released, and Tavis has jumped to number 33 on the list of the nation's most important talkers, making him the highest-ranked African American on the coveted roster. Congratulations to Tavis Smiley from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580. We've got you black.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys.
Let's take our auntie to the swap meet.
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 climate justice campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA Can believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Some people really get in our hair. Moreover, there are individuals that, for some reason, take delight in getting emotional reactions out of others. When they succeed, they win, and their ability to hurt gives them a sense of power. Whether we call them toxic people, narcissists, psychopaths, people like these are very tough to deal with. However, there's a controversial method to handle such individuals. An effective way to deal with people that are destructive to our lives is avoiding them. Walking away and going no contact are great tools that not only cut them out of our lives, but also give them the opportunity to reflect. And even though the chances are small, they might consider changing their behavior for the better. Unfortunately, in some cases, walking away isn't an option. We can avoid people to some extent, but when we have to deal with them on a regular basis because of work, cohabitation, or shared custody, we will benefit from other ways to cope with their behavior. In 2013, a psychology blogger named Skylar first coined the term Grey Rock Method as a way to deal with psychopaths. The goal of the Grey Rock Method is to encourage psychopaths or other emotionally unbalanced people to lose interest in us. I quote, "When contact with you is consistently unsatisfying for the psychopath, his mind is retrained to expect boredom rather than drama. Psychopaths are addicted to drama and they can't stand to be bored. With time, he will find a new person to provide drama, and he will find himself drawn to you less and less often. Eventually, they just slither away to greener pastures." End quote. According to Skylar, psychopaths are addicted to power. They try different tactics to get a reaction out of their targets, to fuel their sense of power over them. When they succeed, they are exhilarated. They have found a way to control us. In most cases, this isn't a one-time event. When these people discover that they can pull our strings, they'll keep doing it. Even if it's just for the confirmation that they still have control over us. Our reaction is their pride.
Very interesting. We have more questions. How does John Bowlby's attachment theory relate to the propensity of self-love deficient, i.e., codependents, to remain in toxic relationships? What role does trauma play in the decision to employ the Grey Rock Method? Right? How might Babette Rothschild's work on trauma and the body inform our understanding of why people might need to use gray rocking? How does the concept of emotional safety, as described by Ross Rosenberg's influence, right? How does that influence one's openness to use gray rocking tactics? Like, gray rocking is a type of language, right? It's a kind of minimalist language that is used. I've been telling my son since he was a kid, like, you cannot convert, convince, or cajole an unwilling ear. I said, stop explaining so much. Give the necessary amount of information and leave it there. Right? Unless asked, right, for more. Just leave it there. Stop explaining so much. Can withholding information be a symptom of insecure attachment style, as described by Mary Ainsworth? What are the psychological effects of living with a mask in intimate relationships? And how does this relate to gray rocking? How does the fear of judgment influence the decision to use or avoid gray rocking techniques? Now, please understand, across the board, avoidance creates conflict. So, gray rocking is actually communicating, right, without explaining, without giving too much, right? That's interesting. It's communicating almost without communicating. How you do today? Good. Did you eat? Yes. Are you going somewhere later? Nope. The narcissist or the toxic person is like, where's the drama? I'd like to have some drama, please. When I come forward, the voice of reason going to the phone lines, get in here and tell me how you deal with your toxic people.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The man who held up Brooklyn's so-called bling bishop live on camera was sent to prison Monday, but for less time than the bishop he robbed. A federal judge sentenced Saquon Pollock to 7.25 years in prison for the 2022 robbery of Bishop Lamore Whitehead during a streamed sermon. Pollock argued for a reduced sentence because Whitehead's been convicted of stealing from his parishioners, but the judge said no, calling Pollock a robbing hood, not a Robin Hood. Bishop Whitehead, who is black, was sentenced to 9 years in June. The Minnesota state trooper accused of killing an African-American motorist last summer during a traffic stop is back at work. Ryan Londrigan is back on the job in Golden Valley. He originally was charged with shooting and killing Ricky Cobb II in July of 2023. The Hennepin County attorney decided to drop the charges. Londrigan was then exonerated of all wrongdoing. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Dominican slugger Teoscar Hernandez will send you home on Tuesday, August 20th with your next bobblehead. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance versus the Mariners to receive an exclusive Teoscar Hernandez bobblehead presented by Inaba. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. LADWP.com/EV.
Many homeowners and businesses use man-made stone as an alternative to traditional stone for their countertops. Handling these products puts workers' lives at risk. Without proper conditions, workers could die from the terminal lung disease silicosis. Employers must supply respiratory protection and water systems. It's essential to wet stone when cutting it to prevent breathing in dust. Do away with dusty, deadly practices. Visit WorkSafeWithSilica.org. This is a message from Cal OSHA.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at LADWP.com/free trees. That's LADWP.com/free trees.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertiri Plessy. Nefertiri felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single-parent families. Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. Let's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
today's episode is going to be about gray rocking the narcissist. And from my perspective, how I would combat it if you came at me being the self-aware narcissist. So if you don't know what gray rocking is, it's the technique of becoming like a rock. I don't know who coined the term or where it came from and whatnot. Only thing I know from TikTok and Instagram and whatnot, it is, becoming boring, like giving generic answers, minimizing contact, and not engaging with a narcissist or toxic person. Look, I say or toxic person because I know everybody's not a narcissist. I know. Trust me, I know. But I am. So I can speak on it. Yay. So, gray rocking. If a narcissist is trying to engage with you and you just give them answers like, yeah, sure, okay, sounds good, that's great, oh no, just see how bland it was, you see how boring it was. That's exactly the purpose of gray rocking, is to not engage, because when you engage with a narcissist, you are giving them all the power. If you react negatively to a narcissist, you are giving them all the power because they love it. They just sitting there sucking it up like power. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, how Goku just sucks all the energy in for his spirit bomb and just unleashes it on you. But that's exactly what it is.
Here's my pushback. I don't believe people are just doing this to narcissists. I think people are doing this in their everyday relationships. And that's where I believe the most damage is done. Most people, listen, do you know what the number one factor for having a healthy relationship is? I've asked this question for over 20 years. You know what people say? They'll money, they'll say communication. The number one rule for having a healthy relationship or a thriving relationship is conflict management skills. And most people don't have conflict management, good ones anyway. You know why? Because most people come from a situation that probably had only a couple of tools in their conflict management toolbox. Right? They only know the way they were shown how to deal with conflict. So most people will use avoidant strategies to not actually handle things that need to be dealt with. And the things that need to be dealt with, tough conversations, right? With human beings who may get emotional, who might fly off the handle, who might raise their voice, who might even use profanity or insults, right? We're not used to dealing with folks like that. So what happens is we put the arbitrary, this is toxic label on it, instead of saying this is what human beings with limited psychological resources do. And of course, it's easy for me to say that because I'm knee deep in psychology and reading books and studying and all of this and that. But the reality of it is, maybe that should be par for the course if you want to be in a relationship with someone, right? The gray rock method is more than just a strategy to neutralize the emotional charge in toxic relationships. It is the manifestation of survival in the psychological backgrounds shaped by narcissists or toxic folk. At its core, gray rocking is a deliberate act of emotional disarmament. But we're doing this to each other even when we're not narcissists. We're doing this when we're mad. We're doing this when we're disappointed. We're doing this when we're let down. We're doing this when the image of who we thought you were cracked. Tell me I'm lying. 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. Reverend L, Dallas, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What's going on, Brother Zoe?
I'm alive and well, brother. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm going to touch on a few little pieces real quick, man. The gray rock. I heard the term some time ago, and I did some research on it, and I had kind of put myself into do our gray rock. And I don't even do that gray rock, and I had to think about it. So I've never been that person to gray rock because people need to know the truth. They need to know the raw and tactful truth. when you tell somebody the truth with no emotion, just raw truth, it sticks with them and it stays with them and it stings also. So, a lot of times people don't like to hear the truth. They just want to go ahead and they're analyzing how you're telling them things versus what you're telling them. So that's part of the message. Now, a lot of people I know now, they don't really gray rock as much as they stonewall. And the stonewall kind of is like where people ghost people and all this other stuff. They don't want to put up with the situation of dealing with somebody that's probably been toxic or a situation that they've been in. They just ghost them. So it's a temporary situation because they feel like they're winning. And they're like, again, this is just my philosophy on it. When they ghost people, it's temporary. So I don't have to answer the phone. I'm going to block them, all this other good little stuff. But when you do come across that person, then all those feelings that you suppressed and all those things that you want to say and all this other stuff kind of rush right back. So then you start the broken process all over again.
So let me do this. Let me do this real quick because you mentioned stonewalling. For the people listening, stonewalling is a way of withdrawing from a conversation or interaction, either verbally or non-verbally, to avoid conflict or uncomfortable topics. It can happen intentionally or unintentionally and can be a form of emotional abuse that can harm relationships. Finish your thought.
So along with that part, like I said, that's another thing that you just mentioned. When people gray rock, this is just my opinion on looking at it. When people gray rock, they want to, they kind of match the energy in a way, because that person is there that narcissist person is trying to chip away. They're trying to talk and trying to figure out how to get under your skin and try to get you to do something that they want you to do or get you to feel a certain type of way. And you have to protect your energy. I'm a believer in not matching energy. I'm a believer in protecting your energy. Because if you protect your energy, you have to build yourself up to kind of prevent these type of situations. Because these narcissist type people, they're going to hit you all types of ways, up, down, sideways. They're going to hit you with everything. And also, another avenue is, I understand why some people gray rock, because a lot of people are non-confrontational. So non-confrontational people, they're just, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, I understand. They're just giving those random cues and hoping that the narcissist catches on, like, okay, I'm tired of it's not working. I'm just tired of talking to them and hoping that it goes away, and it doesn't. So
wait,
I understand why.
There's two pieces. You got two pieces out here that I have to address. The first piece is people don't like hearing the truth. I'm going to push back just a little bit. I think how it's better stated, people don't like hearing your truth. Okay? I think that should be it. Because when you tell somebody the truth about themselves, first off, one of the flaws of psychology is a psychologist cannot see inside your head or understand your experience from your perspective. They can only translate it based off of the stories you tell. So when you get somebody saying this is the truth and you can't handle it, that is already an incendiary comment for an intelligent person, right? You can't say you don't want to hear the truth. Some people don't like it. First off, you don't have the truth. All you have is your perspective, sir. No disrespect to you, though, of course. I'm simply saying this is where a lot of us get tripped up in the conflict, right? Because they will present their perspective as the truth. And you can say, from your perspective, that's what it may look like, but I'm the one experiencing this, and I can tell you, as the only me there is, your perspective is off. It's askew. It's a jar, right? And you'll disagree, and we'll go back and forth, right? So I don't fall for that. People don't like the truth. No, people don't like your perception of them. And I think it's best to say it that way, or frame it as, this is my truth that I'm presenting to you. This is what it looks like from where I stand. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm noting that down.
Wait, stay with me, because you cooking right now, and every time you say something, you open up another labyrinth of information. When we come forward, we going back to Dallas, Texas. It's on fire tonight.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us for a book party celebrating The Covenant with Black America 20 years later. Almost 2 decades ago, the Covenant book, compiled and edited by Tavis Smiley, climbed to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list and stayed there for weeks. The first book by a black-owned publisher to achieve such a feat. The urgency of the issues that matter most to black fellow citizens has only intensified, especially in this critical election year. On Wednesday evening, August 14th, 6 to 9 p.m., come meet Tavis Smiley alongside Covenant contributors including Cornel West, Connie Rice, Mark Ridley Thomas, Elisa Orduna, Tyrone Howard, and Melina Abdullah as they sign copies of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later. You can purchase your books on site and get them autographed. That's Wednesday evening, August 14th, 6 to 9 p.m. in the city of Los Angeles. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
What I felt the first time
Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. This week I want to talk about being reactive. I love this topic because I think a lot of us need practice with this because we were not taught how to do this. We're not even aware that we are reactive to people. You really have to learn self-mastery in life, and you really have to learn the ability to have self-control over your emotions because you're reacting to essentially an emotional trigger. You're reacting to someone who is toxic and negative, and the more you react, the more you're gonna actually get into the ring with this person. They're gonna drain your energy, deplete you, cause you to feel stress, fear, anxiety, etc. So we want to learn how to be able to handle ourselves when we are dealing with any type of people that are toxic or unhealthy. Now, before we do get into this week's video, if you're new to my channel, my name is Stephanie. I am a life and relationship coach. And if you have not already subscribed, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below and click on post notifications. So let's get into being reactive because I want you to understand why we are reactive to people. So when someone says something hurtful, they do something hurtful, they make that little comment that tries to like cut you at your knees, they try to give you a little bit of manipulation, a little bit of guilt. And if you're not aware that someone's even giving you that little bit of shade, that they're hurting you, that they're saying those things to kind of like try to get at you or cut you, then this video probably is too advanced for you. We need to start back with like you being self-aware to recognize when someone is doing something or saying something that's making you feel off. But if you understand that this person in your life typically says these things, tries to cut you, uses guilt, uses manipulation, whatever the emotional abusive tactic is that they try to use on you, if you understand, okay, mom typically does this or my ex-husband typically does that, then what you want to understand is that the reason why they're doing this is because they're not getting what they want. They want something from you, which is control. They want to get something out of the situation. You're not conforming. You're not giving them what it is that you need, that they need, because you're kind of saying, okay, what works best for me? What do I think? How do I feel? What can I give? What should I be doing right now? Because you're very self-loving to say, hold on, I'm not going to just be codependent and just like conform and give and give and give. I'm going to actually start stopping and asking myself, do I want to do that? Should I do it? Is it even good for me to be doing this right now? Like, how do I actually feel about this versus me always being the giver in life? Because you are either that person or you have learned.
This is heavy stuff tonight. I need y'all to understand how heavy this is. Being knee deep in this information, you know what it's taught me? Everybody is hurting. Stonewalling, gray rocking, yellow rocking, whatever term you give it, right? These are all modalities, techniques to navigate the toxicity of others in an attempt to protect your own. Oof. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but this is exactly, this is a snapshot of how humanity navigates each other. Oh, they're toxic. Let me stonewall, or let me gray rock, or let me yellow rock, just so you could get past the difficult moment. Let me avoid. But it never really addresses the situation, right? And then at the same time, we'll turn around and parrot some famous philosopher. You know, relationship is a mirror. But then when you get an unsatisfactory experience, you go right to victimhood. Why did they do that to me? Do you see? We don't say, you know, a part of me is unhealed, and that relationship served as a mirror for me to see it because I lost sight of it within me. That's heavy, right? The audacity to turn around and then say, some people can't handle the truth. Ooh, 1-800-920-1580. Get in here, Reverend. I'm just poking at you a little bit. Talk to me.
Okay. I want to address something I saw in the comment. and this is just my philosophy about the gray rock. I saw or someone said they're taking a sabbatical from men. Completely understand. I personally think that's a great idea because she can see if it's the men that's the problem or if she's the problem. I'm speaking from experience because I know when I used to deal with the HOs, I was, I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And it wasn't the HOs. It was me.
How about it? Because you were self-reflecting, right?
I was self-reflecting. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to hear it at first. I didn't want to feel it. But it was me.
So let me just say this. A sabbatical without self-reflection is just merely pointless. It's merely a timeout.
It's pointless.
Go ahead.
So you got to test yourself. You got to check your temperature of yourself because you can gray rock yourself because you're the toxic person. You don't want to deal with, you know what, man, you know, I ain't really that bad. You know, everybody else tripping. It ain't me. It's them. But when you at home at night and you lay your head on that pillow, you know the truth. You don't want to address it, but you know the truth. And you gray rock yourself.
No, for real. You got to stay with me because you just said some people gray rock themselves, and we know this. Man, stay with it. Don't go nowhere. Reverend L. Ratchet from Dallas, Texas is in here acting a complete fool. When we come forward, more from the Good Rev.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The man who held up Brooklyn's so-called bling bishop live on camera was sent to prison Monday, but for less time than the bishop he robbed. A federal judge sentenced